My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me where did you sleep last night? In the dry pines, yeah. In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. Bible. Today we're going to talk about women's sports and why women's sports exist. First off, women are not good at anything. They're not good at sports. I could beat the shit out of like 99% of women. I just could. There's nothing even remotely competitive about women. The best women's MMA fighter is like the bottom 50% of like a male MMA fighter. The best tennis player, female, is like 4,000 in the male tennis. So why are we wasting our time with women's sports? So I'm trying to figure this out. Because I'm not gonna come up here and say, you know, it's inherently evil. I'm trying to figure out why women's sports exist. And I figured this out. Women only want attention. That's literally all they want. If a slave master gave a black lady some licorice, she'd probably fucking have kids. Women should not be making decisions. Women have no right to ever make a decision in this entire world. An African American lady in 1840, the massa would give her some candy probably, and she'd be like, "Oh boy, I'll have some kids for you, massa." She literally can't think. Women can't think. So why are women in sports? They want attention. So then, like, who's benefiting from this? Well, sponsors. Sponsors are involved. So that means now you've got capitalism involved, which means you've got like a Hibbett, some sort of sporting goods store. They get pulled. Remember, the actual competitiveness of women's sports is not. There's no point to it. There's literally no point to women's sports in terms of like, you're not going to get any value out of it. There's no value added to society. It's similar to like a casino or gambling. Nothing is made in gambling. Nothing is made in a casino. Nothing is made in like alcohol. Nothing is made in like cigarettes. I mean, technically it's just a negative thing. Women's sports. I mean, technically all sports are a waste of time. Technically, I mean, you're wasting your time if you watch the NASCAR or the football, or even League of Legends or Call of Duty to some extent, or whatever games the kids are playing these days. The League of Legends is the Stellaris is the Hearts of Irons is it's technically. I mean, now you could make an argument that some of the games they give you some sort of like broad map of like how things work. Like, hey, there's oil in Azerbaijan in Hoi 4. I didn't know that. It's Baku. Baku has a lot of oil. Texas and California had a lot of oil in World War II. But why do women play sports? Why are conservatives glorifying women's sports? And I figured this out. I figured it out. Women are attention whores. You have here's 10, here's 1, here's 10, here's 1. These are the males. These are the females. The females only want to fuck the tens. Of course, everyone knows that. Everyone only wants to fuck the tens. But here's the question. The women who are the ones are supposed to be loyal to the ones. They're not loyal to the ones. They care more about the tens, which I'm not judging. I'm telling you why it's happening. I'm telling you why conservatives are pro women's sports. I'm not here to tell you it's good or bad. I'm just telling you why they are for women's sports. The big CEOs of the people giving out, like the banks who give out you go to a sports team and they always have like the AT&T stadium, the Sprint stadium, the Facebook stadium. Here's Mark Zuckerberg. And all these ladies are like, oh, please give us money. So any male on the bottom, you can't trust your lady because your lady is basically, it's a way of Mark Zuckerberg and Donald Trump and all the top big dogs. They basically have like an inroads into the bottom, the whores at the bottom, right? Like all these whores down here, the 5s and below, they'll do anything. You know, they'll fucking have kids. If the massa comes up to the African American lady in 1830 and says, I'll give you some candy if you give me some kids, some slaves. Women shouldn't be making decisions. Women should never, ever, 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 ever be making decisions. And also, the best MMA fighter for a female is literally useless. It's a waste of space. Every hour that is given to an MMA fighter lady is a waste of an hour. Every hour given to a female athlete is a waste of time. It's a waste of fucking time. They're just up there to wear their little yoga camel toe shit. It's basically stripping, but not honest, right? Am I wrong here? I mean, come on. Are you telling me for a second that the best female tennis player is like 5,000 in males? The best MMA fighter, female, 10% of males could beat the shit out of her in a fight, probably. So like, let's cut this fucking attitude. Let's try and figure out why the fuck our conservatives. It's so that they can get inroads into the whores at the bottom. The whores at the bottom. Every woman ever just wants attention. So all these 5s and 6s, even there might be 6s. There might be some 6s in there. I've seen some volleyball girls with some nice asses on the internet and stuff. So some tennis. Anna Kournikova, pretty good shit. You know, I wouldn't fuck Venus or Serena, but you know. But then again, Anna Kournikova was not that good of an actual tennis player. Serena and Venus were the good female tennis players. And I wouldn't fuck them. They were kind of masculine. So that's why conservatives are pro-women's sports. Now, if you want to do something good for America, and you're a masculine, pro-American male, you should put a ribbon in your hair, say you're going to try and join the female team, and you should be as cruel as possible to those women. They should get the fuck out of sports, get the fuck out, you fucking dumb cunts. You should not be involved in stuff that's masculine. That's not your role. Your role is not that. Like, the best tennis player is like 10,000 in terms of male tennis players. The best MMA fighter female is like, there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of males who beat the fucking shit out of fucking whoever the best female. So use your brain. Think about this. Women, the conservatives are purposefully pedestaling things. They shouldn't be involved in society, to be honest. They're just doing it for attention. They're using women's desire for attention to get inroads, to get, what's a word you could use? If Bob's a drug addict, you can't trust Bob because Bob will do anything for coke. You can't trust Bob if he's a heroin addict. Women are whores, they crave attention. Every one of these will do anything for these people's attention. These like top 10s and 9s, they'll do anything for their attention. So the reason they're doing this stuff is they get inroads into the bottom whore area. They're called whores. All women are whores, remember that. And so that's my thesis. That's why conservatives are pro-women's sports. I mean, there's no one actually thinks women's sports are even remotely competitive. That's the biggest fucking joke in the entire fucking world. I mean, come on, have you ever, tell me one smart woman. Zero. So, if you were a heroic human being, you would put a ribbon in your hair and you'd be like really cruel to the women in sports. You'd be like, I'm a woman. And then you'd like take a bunch of testosterone and you push them. You'd be like, ugh. And then you'd be like, get the fuck out of sports. You don't belong here. Go get in the fucking kitchen, you dumb cunt. If you're not happy, go try and hook up with Zuckerberg. The only way they can hook up with Zuckerberg is if they're spies for Zuckerberg. They can't hook up with Zuckerberg. They can't hook up with Trump. They can't hook up with the top 10% unless they're spies. You get what I'm saying? They're spies. They get inroads to the top by being spies. And these people, they're so stupid they don't realize, you know, the African American slave ladies. No one, look, if you were a slave lady and you had kids for the massa didn't give a fuck about you. The massa don't give a fuck about the slave lady who had a kid. He doesn't give a fuck. Oh, thank you, you gave me 5 kids. Go pick, and your kids are gonna go pick cotton.
So that's why conservatives are pro women's sports, because women are, they shouldn't be involved in decision-making processes. They're spies. They're basically spies.